Hello, and welcome to a very, very special episode of Ranking of Saturn, episode 32.5. Today is an important day. Today, we play and rank a video game that I have been thinking about since I began this whole endeavour. As soon as I began this series of ranking every single Sega Saturn game released in Europe, I knew that one day I would have to play this game. A game that I have extremely complicated feelings about. For reasons we will get into when we play it. But before we start playing the game we are going to play, let me first of all talk to you about problematic fan bases. Now, what is a problematic fan base? In my head, a problematic fan base is a group of people through their words and actions reflect poorly upon the property, brand, or company they claim to represent and stand for and love, you know. I'm sure we can all think of at least one or two things, whether they be films, TV shows, video games, where you feel like you have been actively repulsed from trying them out because you find the fan base so distasteful. I can think of half a dozen examples where you look at something and you go, that looks interesting, and then you start encountering the unhinged madness of that thing's associated fan base, and you just go, oh God, if I watch this, if I consume this media, will I become like them? Oh, Jesus Christ. And then it puts you off from consuming said media. Problematic fans, people who often attach their own feelings of self-worth to a property or brand of their choosing. People who tend to become unreasonably upset if their favourite thing, whatever it may be, receives even the slightest amount of negative criticism. Even if said criticism is fair and relatively well researched, the kind of people who tend to prioritise. It's not always the case, not always the case, but I find most of the time problematic fan bases tend to prioritise style and aesthetics over mechanics. And overall game design. They don't care if a game is maybe not that much fun to play, as long as it's like appeals to them visually, or, you know, or pseudo-intellectually? Is that a phrase that works? What's an example of like pseudo-intellectual like attachment? I guess you would say Rick and Morty. Remember years ago when, like, whenever people tried to criticize Rick and Morty, the Rick and Morty fans would be like, oh, the humor is too cerebral for you. You're not smart enough to understand the true depth of the jokes. And it's like, fuck you guys. It's like the most fucking... It is... It's South Park level humor. It's not that fucking smart. I guess that would be my like example of what pseudo intellectual like attachment would mean. Whether or not that actually means that, I don't know. It sounds correct in my head. Let's just go with it until somebody rips me apart for it at some point, which, you know, is a non-zero chance. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. Speaking of games that are, like, very cool aesthetically and conceptually, but maybe don't really live up to that in terms of their game design or mechanics, Sega, a company famous for producing multiple franchises that lean almost entirely on their aesthetics and are maybe not the greatest in terms of their game design. Let's you know, let's see if we can come up with a few here. 3D Sonic games, Burning Rangers, Jet Set Radio. Now that hurts to say because I like Jet Set Radio, but those games don't play too well. Shenmue is a big example of a game that is conceptually very cool, but a fucking nightmare to play. Oh yeah, a little game I like to call Nights into Dreams. Here we go. Nights into Dreams. How does one describe Nights into Dreams? It's not a game that allows easy description because it's not a platformer. I guess it's not a platformer. There is no platforming in this game. It's not a game that you can easily categorize. I guess you would call it a generic action game. Some people, bad people, would describe it as a flight sim, but it's not really a flight sim. The character you are playing as is flying, but it's not a flight sim. It's a strange one. Let's just get on with it, shall we? Whoops. Let's bring this up. This is a game that I have very uh-oh. Is this the wrong? Why is the... Oh, come on now. Hang on. Resets. It's just me, or is this image seems weirdly wide? Hang on. The display is like, to me, doesn't seem to be displaying correctly. There should be black bars along the left and right hand side. Oh, cool. One moment. Let me just quickly fix this. Okay, I have fixed said problem. All right, let's get on with this. Yeah, Nights into Dreams, a game I have very complicated feelings on. This is usually considered by a lot of people, usually Sega fans, as being one of the best games on the Sega Saturn. At least one of the best exclusives on the Sega Saturn. And I think they're all mad. So, where do I begin? Let's just watch the intro and I'll continue my story afterwards. This is a game, by the way, that makes use of the Sega Saturn 3D pad, the analog controller. So, naturally, we will be using that today. In fact, this is a game that was used to market said controller. Supposedly, the 3D pad was designed specifically for this game. So, let's see just how well it works. So this is the main character of Nights into Dreams. He's a little purple jester man called Nights. I guess you would describe him as a dream entity. He's a living being who lives inside people's dreams. Has my cropping gone bad again? What is happening? I tell you what, something is up with this goddamn scaler. It is not behaving itself lately. I like to have at least a very thin amount of black all around the edge of the capture window. That way I know I'm not accidentally cropping anything out. Okay, that's enough. So, to start a new game. Oh god, this game forces you to use... If you've got the 3D pad plugged in, this game forces you to use the 3D thing. I'm not going to call it a stick because it's not a stick. The 3D ball joint of the 3D pad to navigate menus, and it doesn't work super well. I'd rather they just let me use the D-pad. The D-pad is unused entirely in this game, even for menu navigation, which I think is a mistake. Okay, so the game takes place primarily from the perspective of these two children, Elliot and Claris, and the game doesn't have much of a story, like barely any actually, really, other than like a small handful of like pre-rendered cutscenes, half of which you might not even see because you have to leave the game idling at the title screen for them to even play. So let's actually see if we can get those playing, shall we? Give you some actual context for what we're about to do. So, the idea is that these kids have got like natural talents that they're very good at, but they're very insecure. They're afraid that these things that they enjoy, they're not actually good enough at, and those insecurities result in them receiving horrible nightmares. And then they must, with the help of Nights, banish their nightmares, which will then allow them to achieve their dreams in the real world. So you have Claris here. She dreams of being a singer. Also, I think the character designs of these children are fucking horrifying. They are really creepy looking, even by 90s standards. Okay. So that's Claris's backstory. And hopefully if we wait a few more seconds for the other one to play. Okay. Go back to the title screen and wait again. Hopefully we can get the other one to play. I'm pretty sure this is the only way to get these videos to play. They don't like play automatically when you start the single player campaign. So this guy's deal is very similar to Claris's, except replace singing with basketball. And oh god. Oh no, he's having a nightmare that he's getting owned on the basketball court. Oh no, the other kids are better at basketball than he is. Oh no, what a nightmare. Okay. Alright. So now we have proper context for why we are doing what we are doing. And hopefully with Knight's help, the children can banish their nightmares and fulfill their lifelong ambitions, supposedly. Because that's how that works, I suppose. Alright. Play as Claris or Elliot first. Let's go to the options menu first. Oh no. Oh, okay. No, we've got a little. So the main gameplay of this game is time trials, or I guess score attacks. I guess it's more like a more accurate description would be a score attack. The idea is that you're flying in a a set loop, a set course, and you have to score as many points as you can before you finish the lap. And depending on how many points you score, depends on what your grade for that course is. And you want to try and get the highest grade possible. It's, you know, easy to understand stuff. Okay, where's the options menu? Here it is. Select diary. Options, there we go. You've got standard sound test, audio settings. So this game supports widescreen, but hang on. Uh-oh. What is... Uh-oh, hang on. Have I screwed up? Have I not done this right? Tell you what, let's just select widescreen and we'll try and we'll wing it. Nightmaren, I'm not 100% sure. I think this might be related to the bosses. This might be related to how quickly you can defeat the bosses, I think. Not 100% sure. That is set to wide though, because... Alright. Since that's set to wide, can we adjust this to a somewhat accurate 16:9 aspect ratio. That looks about right. That looks close enough to 16:9. That's good enough. Whatever. That's close enough. I'm not gonna make it exactly 16:9 as long as it looks roughly correct. We're gonna go with that. This game doesn't really have enough visual detail to justify making sure. And that's enough. Okay. Let's actually play the game. Let's play as Claris first. Why the hell not? So each level starts off with you walking around the little 3D environment as the child, and then you get ambushed by enemies. The enemies, they steal your coloured balls, and they drop them in little structures around the level. There we go. So we walk into the podium in the middle, and we take control of knights. And his whole deal is he just kind of flies around. If you fly in a circle, the space in the middle of that circle becomes a deadly energy field that kills any enemies inside it. And the whole point of what you're doing is you are collecting these little blue balls called ideas? No, not ideas. No. The ideas are locked inside these little chambers that we bust open with the blue balls. The ideas are the coloured balls that were stolen from us when we first started the level. So yeah, now we've got both the red and the silver idea. We've got a C, which is good enough for that. Oh, I want that ball! Give me your balls! Ah, oh, damn it. The wind won't let me fly. Okay, so you want to collect as many of these blue balls as possible, and once you've collected 20 blue balls, that's enough to smash open the container holding the idea. You can earn extra points by defeating enemies and flying through rings. And also collecting extra balls that you don't technically need anymore, but they do give you points, so why not? You kind of want to get C's as a minimum. The final level in this game only unlocks if you finish all the previous levels with a minimum of a C ranking. You kind of want to go for a C. It's like an opportunity to earn some extra points by doing some tricks. You do tricks by holding in the left and right shoulder buttons. You can speed up by holding down the C button. I think the A button also does it. Yes, it does. So does the B button. Again, just whenever the yellow ribbon appears, just start tapping the shoulder buttons to do tricks to earn extra points. And that's kind of the entire game I've just described to you right there. What I've just described to you and shown to you in the last, 5 minutes is the entire game. All that really changes is the complexity of the levels, and therefore the difficulty of the levels. Uh-oh. That's enough. So you want to make sure you get back to the podium before time runs out. Otherwise, you lose all. You get turned back. You get turned back into a child, and you lose all your points. So, time is of the essence. Score as many points as possible, and be quick about it. Where am I going? You can't have to explore up and down sometimes because the course you're on extends above and below what the camera sees, so there might be hidden balls or rings above and below you, so you got to kind of, to get the most out of each level, you got to like explore it and find out where all the best stuff is. Okay. Click some yellow balls. Avoid the enemies. Some enemies are more problematic than others. Those red guys will grab hold of you and slow you down. You don't want them to do that. There we go. So I got all C's, which is perfectly acceptable. You don't need to get anything better than a C, really. Alright, and you know what? I will say that the one thing about this game that I genuinely like is the boss variety. I think this game has some very colourful, very uniquely designed bosses. They are kind of the highlight of this game. They're not always like super interesting to fight, like this one is literally you just fly into it and press the C button to hurt it, and that's it. That's the entire boss fight. It's the easiest thing in the world. I think it's the easiest boss in the game. There's really no challenge to it. And every time you hit him, his tail gets shorter, and eventually he runs out of tail to respawn himself. I think this is the last one. Oh, he hurt me, my god. And there we go, that's the basic loop of Nights into Dreams. The game doesn't really get any more complicated than that. That is the gameplay loop for the entire game, for every level. And that's fine. That's, you know, for what it is, the game is like perfectly fine. It's, you know, it's got some decent production values. It's got some creative and colourful visuals, if maybe a bit garish. And it's all just, it's fine. It's fine. It's a perfectly fine like video game. I actually don't really have a problem with Nights into Dreams the game. I just don't see it the same way that so many other Sega fans see it. A lot of Sega fans will look at this and go, this game's incredible. It's one of the best games on the Saturn. It's fucking amazing. Look at it. Oh my god. And it's like, you play it and you're like, is this it? Like this, admittedly perfectly fine and enjoyable little, like, game. It's fine. But this is not, like, mind-blowing stuff, man. Like, even in the 90s, this is, like, pretty, like... I would call the gameplay basic. I wish when you set the game to widescreen mode, it affected all the other in-game assets, not just the actual 3D levels, because seeing that stretched out Sega logo is a little bit sad. This is like only like, yeah, Nights into Dreams, one of the very, very few Sega Saturn games to have a widescreen mode. I think I've talked about this before, but I think the only other games I can think of off the top of my head to have a widescreen mode would be Panzer Dragoon 2's Vi, which we've already played, and Christmas Nights, the weird and extremely interesting demo disc that Sega put out to promote Nights into Dreams, which will be getting its own entry on the list at some point, because Christmas Nights, while yes is technically a demo disc, has enough unique content that it can be classed as its own unique game in some ways. So we will be playing Christmas Nights separately at some point. Okay, let's do Elliot's first level. So each time you finish a level, you unlock each child's following level. This game only has 8 levels. That's it. Also, if you include the final levels that you have to unlock by finishing all previous levels with a C rank or better. This is not a very big game. There's not a lot of content. It's another knock against it. While what is here is fine, it's not like, oh god, where am I going? Where are the rings? Here we go. Like, what is here is fine, there's not a lot of it. So it's possible to see everything this game has to offer in like a couple of hours. Which, you know, could be very disappointing for some people. Okay, where am I going? Oh god. Okay. Was that a C? No, that was a D. I didn't do very well there. Which means I have to try extra hard for the following routes. Cool. What was this? Switch. Hit the switch and sometimes things will happen. It's not really clear what happens if you hit switches. A lot of the games level specific mechanics and secrets are a little tough to figure out sometimes. The game is not super clear what stuff does. Sometimes the game will just position a bunch of switches in front of you, and it... Oh, another D. We are not doing well. The game will position like a bunch of switches in your way, and you'll hit them, and it appears like they don't really do anything. Maybe we'll do something this time. Okay. My first introduction to Nights into Dreams, I suspect, was probably the same as a lot of kids. The first time I encountered anything Nights into Dreams, associated with this game was Sonic Adventure 1. There is a casino-themed level in Sonic Adventure 1 that has a Nights into Dreams themed pinball table. And I remember being very, interested, I guess you could say, in that pinball table. I guess what my age at the time would have been, 12? I think I was 12. And I remember being, really, interested in this pinball table because it looked like a lot of, work had gone into this one specific pinball table, which didn't appear which was not like represented in anything else in the game. And also like this character in the pinball table, Knights here, also had lots and lots of like there were lots of references to him throughout Sonic Adventure 1 and like signage and stuff like that. Both Sonic Adventure games are dense with like Nights into Dreams references. And so that was my first introduction to this game, was all the references to it in the Sonic Adventure games. And so I knew about this game for years and years before I played it, because if you remember, I started collecting Sega Saturn games around the fall of 2007. I've been researching them. Oh shit, I missed the switch. I shouldn't have missed it. It looked like I hit it, but okay. I was a bit like researching the Sega Saturn, because Saturn was like this like massive blank spot in my like Sega knowledge, and I considered myself a Sega fan in the late 90s and early 2000s. So the fact that there was this massive blank spot in my knowledge, like really like, like messed with me. So I need to know more about this entire console that I apparently completely missed. All D's. We didn't do well. And so I spent a couple years just researching what the Saturn was and what its games were. And this was in like the mid-2000s. Hang on, let me pause so I can tell this story. And so there was no YouTube. And even when YouTube was around in 2006, 2007, it was very, very early YouTube. And so it was really difficult to like research old games, because it's not like you could just go to YouTube and watch like, several dozen gameplay videos of any game that you don't know about, You were lucky at all if you could find like a gameplay video online before YouTube video, before YouTube. And so usually you were relying on like very small, blurry screenshots that people uploaded to like fan websites and stuff like that. And so it was hard to figure out what this game was without actually tracking down a copy and playing it, like pre-YouTube, And early 2000s, like Sega Saturn emulation was like very like sketchy at that point. So you couldn't even really rely on emulators. And so I remember like starting my Sega Saturn collection in like let's say mid 2007. And I think I finally got a copy of Nights into Dreams in like early to mid 2008. And I had spent, remember, so Sonic Adventure 1 was my first experience, my first encounter with this franchise. And I played Sonic Adventure 1 in 2000. So I'd been hearing about and trying to learn about and anticipating this game for like 8 fucking years. And I was a Sega fan. By 2008, I had kind of cooled off a little bit. In late 90s, early 2000s, I was very much a hardcore Sega fan. Maybe even like slightly problematic, those types of fans I mentioned before. Maybe I was one of them around the Dreamcast era. But shall we say by 2008, I'd kind of calmed the fuck down. But I was still very into Sega as a brand and their games. So you finally get to 2008. I've been like learning about this game in tiny bits and pieces via like very, very, very like short, low resolution video clips, very low resolution screenshots, word of mouth from other Sega fans, stuff like that. And I finally get a hold of a copy of this game. And I go, oh fuck, this is it, right? This is the holy grail of the Sega Saturn. This is it. This is the game everyone hypes up. This is the game that is the reason why you buy a Sega Saturn, right? At least that's what I've been told. And I play it, And I go, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, as I'm playing, I'm thinking, okay, all right, it's colourful, it runs well. The gameplay is not super deep, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I keep playing it. And I keep playing it. And I finish the game. And I remember very vividly sitting there after finishing the game. Because I forced myself to finish the game before I, like, concluded, you know, made any, like, hard thoughts on it. And any hard conclusions, shall we say. And I remember sitting there after thinking the game and thinking, was that it? Like, really? This was the game that, like, all those fucking, like, other Sega fans that I trusted the opinions of were championing? Like, this? Like, it's fine? Like, it's fine. But it's only fine, you know? It's got some, like, interesting designs. It's very colourful. You know, the aesthetic is very, like, colourful and whimsical. In like, a nice way. And the bosses are very, like, interesting conceptually. Again, not very hard. The bosses are maybe, like... The bosses could have been harder in this game. The bosses are maybe a little bit too easy, but yeah, I remember sitting there and thinking, was that it? Was this what all that... What that was about? Like, all those, like, references and, like slavish fan devotion and all that like, build-up... was this. Like, this was the game. I was honestly expecting, like, an experience that was a lot deeper, a lot more varied. You know, I was expecting more of a story, for example. There's not really much story in this game. I was expecting the gameplay to be a bit more varied, a bit more deep. I was not expecting the game to be 90% you just flying in loops collecting balls. And then, to get better scores, you fly in loops a little bit faster, collecting even more balls. And that's kind of it. That's the kind of the entire game. So, I was profoundly disappointed. Again, I don't think the game is bad. I just don't think it's the game that I was promised for all those years, you know? It was not a game that... It's not a game that deserves its reputation. It's like, it's really not. It's kind of a... And I feel like it is a game that's kind of a victim of its own reputation, right? Because I can't be the only one. I can't be the only person who's had that experience, you know? Like a Sega fan who missed out on the Saturn, who then has gone back to learn about and play old Saturn games, and then be led to this horribly disappointing, like, reality of, hey, this game that all these other Sega fans seem to think is really great and amazing and revolutionary and, like, defines the platform, is just kind of okay. And that's it. And so I'd kind of been, like... I don't know, this is kind of the game that made me basically completely lose faith in, like, a certain segment of, like, the Sega fan base, and I've never really recovered it since. This is the game that made me truly realise that, okay, alright, okay, some of us are just crazy, and some of us are, like, genuinely a little bit nuts and have like lost sight of reality, and so I can't always trust what my fellow fans say. it was kind of a, I guess you would say, like a low-key traumatic event for me. And there are, I would say that there are, in the years since, so there are games that from Sega now that I used to love when I was younger, but in the decades since, I've become older and wiser, and I realise, some of these games I used to love as a child are maybe not that good after all. I think Sonic Adventure 1 is kind of a mess. Sonic Adventure 2, while less of a mess in a gameplay sense, I think is an embarrassing mess in a completely different way. I think games like Jet Set Radio, which I still, deep in my heart, adore Jet Set Radio. But you go back and you play that game now, and the controls aren't very good. I was a Shenmue diehard. I was one of those people. That's like, no man, no, Shenmue's actually really good. You need to play it. It's actually really good. You run around and you ask guys if they've seen sailors and where you can meet sailors, because you really want to meet sailors. Not for sex, no. You just really want to meet sailors. And I've completed Shenmue, I'm going to say, at least 3 times in my life. I don't think I'll ever finish that game ever again, because I'm past the point where I think I will ever want to play more Shenmue. Shenmue is an example of a game that I deeply respect in on a conceptual level. The concept of Shenmue is incredible. The execution is maybe not so good. What's another example of like a Sega game that like I really, really stand as a child, but then have come to like kind of like cringe at a little bit? Outgunner. And this is an obscure one. There's a game for the Dreamcast, a very, very late Dreamcast game called Outgunner, which I suppose you could say was like Sega's attempt at creating a Quake 3 clone. It was an online arena shooter, multiplayer-focused arena shooter that came out at the very near end of the Dreamcast's life. And that was a game you looked at screenshots of that game in magazines, and it looked great. That's an example of a game that looks incredible in screenshots. And you go, holy shit, look how good this game looks. And you look at the screenshots. And then you finally get the game, and then you realise, oh, this game doesn't look nearly as good in motion. And also it's terrible to play, because it turns out the Dreamcast controller is terrible for like first-person shooters. It's really bad for first-person shooters. Do not play first-person shooters on the Dreamcast controller. It is profoundly awful. And so that was another example of a game that I desperately, desperately wanted to be good and ended up being extremely not good. Let's play another Claris level. Let's do Claris's second level. Okay, the forest level. do some more of this. What are we, 50 minutes in? Okay. And so I feel like I don't know. In previous videos, I feel like I've been like unnecessarily harsh when talking about this game. And I would like people to know that I don't actually have... I don't dislike Nights into Dreams, maybe at least not in the way that I've given the impression that I do. And that my negative reaction to Nights into Dreams is not necessarily because of the game, and it's more just to do with the fan base around Nights into Dreams and just how unhinged it seems to me. Because, again, I'm not saying you're not allowed to like this game. If you're a fan of Nights into Dreams, that's fine. I just need people to wake up and understand that this game is fine. It's not some incredible, like, platform-defining thing. This is... like, there were people, no joke, like, back when I was, like, researching this game, and I am not... I'm not making this up when I say this. There are people who, no joke, said shit like, oh, this game is, like, this is the Mario 64 of the Sega Saturn. Right? That's a wild thing to say when you think about how good Mario 64 is and how revolutionary that game was, and how many people continue to talk about that game, and how many games that came afterwards that were directly inspired by that game. And you have people trying to tell you that, like, somehow, in some universe, Nights into Dreams even compares. And it's like, oh, okay, I think you're, like... I think maybe you're, like, imprinting some, like, I don't know, expectations or ideas onto this game that are not logical, or not, like, in the realm of reality. Because I can't think of any games that have really taken Nights into Dreams as, like, a direct inspiration. Except for Balan Wonderland, which is a game that came out recently, a few years ago, for, like, the Switch and PS4. It was by Yuji Naka. Post-Sega Yuji Naka. It was the last game he worked on before getting arrested. And I think that is the only game that is, like, directly inspired by Nights into Dreams, and that's only because Yuji Naka wanted to make another game that was like Nights into Dreams. I don't know, maybe there's, like, some, like, other game that I'm not thinking of right now. Really, the only one that I can think of is Balan Wonderland or Wonderworld, whatever the fuck it's called. And that game's not very good. I would argue that game is actually quite terrible. Okay, I need to hurry the fuck up. I'm taking too long. Yeah, cool. Get me to the podium. Running out of time. Okay. Oh god. Is this the level with the weird top-down section that I can't fucking navigate? It might be. Oh no. We might be about to enter a portion of the level where I have extreme trouble because it's very difficult to navigate. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Oh no. Follow the edge, maybe. Oh. Okay, there's the thing. Okay. If I follow the rings, will they lead me out? Okay, yeah, the rings led me out. Okay, I sometimes get stuck in that section because I can't see where the hell I'm meant to go. I will say that the controls are nice and fluid. The use of the 3D pad is the feeling of the 3D pad is quite nice. Hang on. The game is like perfectly playable without the 3D pad. You don't need the 3D pad to play this game well. You can actually play this game quite easily with a regular D-pad. The only one downside is that I find playing with a D-pad hurts your thumb, because you are constantly rolling your thumb backwards and forwards around the edge of the D-pad the entire time, to the point that it kind of makes your thumb hurt after a little while. So I would say the main benefit of using the 3D pad is that it's you don't end up with a sore thumb at the end of a gameplay session. So, all right, this boss, the big fish. You have to find the red launcher that positions you directly in the path of the fish, so that when you launch yourself through the body of water, you hit him. So find the launcher that lines up directly with the fish. Oh, he moved out the way. Okay, got him. And when you hit him enough times, that's the end of him. Again, like, this boss is not hard either. None of the bosses are really that hard. I mean, there's an argument to be made that one of the bosses is tricky. One of the bosses is kind of tricky, but it's not even the final boss. Like, the final boss is actually really, like, pathetically easy. But yeah, like, all but one of the bosses are, like, weirdly easy. Somehow we got a C on that one. We're at about an hour. Let's do a few more levels. Let's see if we can actually finish the game, shall we? In like 2 hours. Elliot's second level. Okay, this level is winter themed. Big old snowy mountain. Oh, great. I think you get bonus points if you manage to destroy the orb in one attempt. I think as long as if you dump all 20 blue balls into the orb in one go, I think you get some extra points. 19. The soundtrack's pleasant. The soundtrack is nice. I wouldn't call the soundtrack incredible. Like, there are some people out there who really adore this game's soundtrack, and I would call it middling to good. Kind of like the game. The game is middling to good, as is the soundtrack. Maybe could have spent some more of my leftover time earning more points there. Okay, I need to fly up here and collect some of these extra balls. Any balls up here? Here's some balls. I found some balls. Give me your blue balls. Okay. Idea. Get. Okay, more of this. There was a sequel to this game that came out for the Wii, Journey of Dreams. Knight's Journey of Dreams, and I don't care for that game at all. I tend to just not really... I don't know, I bought Journey of Dreams, and that game was new. I played Journey of Dreams and the original Nights into Dreams very close together. Because when did Journey of Dreams come out? Was that 2007? 2008? I forget when Journey of Dreams came out, but it was definitely either 2007 or 2008. So I probably played Journey of Dreams and Into Dreams within 6 months of each other for the first time. And yeah, I think Journey of Dreams is not as good. The one thing... I barely remember Journey of Dreams, actually. The one thing I remember about Journey of Dreams is that there is an owl character in that game who constantly tells some young kids to touch knights. And it's like, oh, that's creepy. I don't like the way you're telling these kids to touch knights. And it's stuck with me ever since. Because, like, that's a weird way to I don't like how you be speaking, sir. You creep me out. Weird owl man. Yeah, we should maybe look at Journey of Dreams at some point. I don't know. Journey of Dreams is like, gameplay-wise, is like better in some ways. But I think also it's like worse in others. It's a very sequel. Oh god, here we go. Now we're a bobsleigh or a sled or something. It's almost like the one of the bonus stages from Sonic 2. It's half pipe. Didn't get nearly enough blue orbs. Okay. One more pass will hopefully do it. Oh god, please. I just want the blue orbs. that enough? That's enough. Tell you what, we're going to fly back the other way. Because it's not as far. There we go. Whatever, I'll take it. Doesn't matter. What's this boss? We got a C average anyway, so... Oh, it's claws. Cool. So this is a cat man. We basically... he lands on a mouse bomb. We have to disarm the mouse bomb by flying into it. We can't fly directly to him because he will just run away from us. So we have to spend some time destroying mouse bombs. They're like guided missiles. If we leave them alone for too long, they will launch and home in on us. So we have to take care of them as soon as he lights them. And eventually, once you take care of enough mouse bombs, he will run out of places to retreat to. Because for some reason, he can only exist on a mouse bomb. He can't just like run around the level. He can only sit on a mouse bomb. So when he runs out of places to run away from, you just fly into him and you hit him once. And that's it. That's the boss. It's, again, not very hard. Not a very high skill ceiling, some of these bosses. Okay. I also don't like how the game dumps you back at the title screen every time you finish a level. I think that's weird. Soft Museum. Oh, this is the one with the weird, like, bouncy terrain. I will say some of the the level design variety in this game is like can be super weird and interesting. It's a soft museum. It's just a weird green environment where getting close to the ground causes it to like warp in a really unsettling way. It's like, okay, that's an idea. Oh god, I need the balls. Please give me the balls. Okay. This way. There. Whoops. Oh. That was a D? Really? Okay. But I got so many extra balls. Really? Oh god, it's this fucking thing. I forgot about this. Go into this weird building where everything bounces you around in like an annoying way. constantly fighting these weird physics.
Okay, this is maybe not super fun.
Oh, okay, please, can I just please just get through? Thank you. Take that beat. Pickup. Give me that pickup. Thank you. Oh, cannon. Oh god. Oh, I want the balls. Give me the balls. Yeah, some of the levels you get these like weird like perspective shifts where suddenly it'll be like behind the back or top down or... And it's like, yeah, it's interesting. I kind of... Part of me like wants this game to be more free roam than it is. I kind of think the idea of like a free roaming version of this game is like more interesting. But maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I just remember thinking that when I first played this game, boy, I wish this game was like free roaming and you weren't just locked onto a track. I don't know if that would actually be a good game or not, but part of me still thinks that would be kind of neat. Oh, damn. Last one, I think. What is this? Oh, come on. If you can fly directly through the center of the spike ring, it doesn't hurt you, but I thought I did that. But okay, I guess not. Okay, balls. I see balls. Which way? This way? This way. Ugh. There, no. Right, I just want one more ball. Whatever. We'll dump what we've got and we'll go again. Oh, cool. Right, okay, we're just going to go back. I'm not going to do the whole loop. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Got it. Oh. Jesus Christ, that was close. Yeah, you don't want to run out of time because then you will lose all of your points, and you get a guaranteed F on that course. Oh, this motherfucker, Jackal. All right, he throws his cards at you, and then you grab him. This guy's kind of annoying. Oh, he goes low first, then high. You grab him. You can grab him on the rebound before he grabs his cloak again. You're really good at this. You can grab him tons of times before he gets a chance to grab his cloak. You can just end the boss fight. Oh my god. There we go. Again, not hard. I haven't played this game like in like an extended way for like about a decade. So I am coming at this with like a decade old memories and muscle memory. So, you know, not a hard game. Ugh. Come on now. Hang on. I'm curious about something. Oh. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Okay. I thought there was a mechanic to replay a boss of a stage you've already completed, but I can't get it to work unless there's something to it that I don't remember. I remember being able to hold down the right trigger while selecting a level and it will just take you straight to the boss. Okay, so we've unlocked Claris's final level. Now we need to do it for Elliot. Stick Canyon. Okay. Once again, we get ambushed as soon as we enter the dream. Nothing new here. Oh, get off me. Oh, no. Leave no balls behind. Forget where the balls are. See how, like, because the level extends so, like, far above and below you, sometimes you can't... You miss out on stuff. So you gotta kind of, like, spend time learning the levels, I guess, to, like, figure out where all the best stuff is. Oop. Is that a magnet of some kind? Okay. Well, that's not good enough. Okay, this level's just kind of... I don't think this level's particularly great. It's kind of a little bit too confusing for its own good. Oh god, I'm stuck. That's not what I wanted to do, thanks. Can I just... Okay. Fly to this. Okay, so we can steer this, I think. Oh god. Oop. Go up here? Oh god. No, up. Okay. Hang on. Grab those. Fly down to the podium. There we go. Go backwards. We've got another D. Oh well. Probably not getting us a minimum of a C this time. That's fine. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Okay, I want to hit that switch. Ugh. Yeah, this entire level is just kind of a mess. Oh god. And stuff just attaches to you for some reason. Weird. Okay. There was a I want to say there was a Game Boy Advance Knights game in the works at some point. That got cancelled, I want to say. And like the small like tech demo thing that was like attached to that they had, they ended up turning into like an unlockable minigame in like the GameCube version of Phantasy Star Online. Oh, I'm running out of time. Uh-oh. I'm not doing well. I'm running out of time here. Shit. Which way do I even go? That clock is going to chase me. I'm going to make my way back to Knights' podium. Okay. Break the idea capture, and now we've got to make get back to the podium. But all of our points have been taken from us, so we're going to get an F for that one. We did very poorly there. We took way too long. Problem is, this level layout is just really like overly complex and confusing, so I don't know where the fuck I'm going half the time. I think that maybe this is like my least favourite level in the game. It's just kind of a confusing mess of obstacles. You kind of need to spend time memorising the level layouts in this game. Oh, shit. Get out of the way. Oh, come on. Okay. I need to get out. How do I get out? Ah! Okay, this way. Far more than enough balls to rescue that idea. Oh, cool, we're stuck. Yeah. Kind of glitchy. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Again. Time limit on this level. Kind of overly strict. Like, you got to really book it in this level. Oh my god. Oh god. And then we lose all the points. All our points are gone. They're just all gone. All of them. I like it you still have the same, like... You can still interact with the world in the same way as Knights. As the child. You just can't fly. You can still jump through the hoops and collect stuff. Yeah, that was miserable. That was a really bad score. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is like the one boss in the game that is actually a challenge. This is Riella, who is quite literally an edgy black and red version of Knights. You know how Shadow the Hedgehog is an edgy black and red Sonic? Well, Riella is an edgy black and red Knights. They did Shadow the Hedgehog before they did Shadow the Hedgehog. This is like, I don't know, this boss fight's kind of tricky, but mostly because it's just kind of there's not really a clear method to what they want you to do. Just kind of fly around each other, hitting each other, and maybe you get lucky. Like there, I didn't really have like a strategy there. I just kind of flew around randomly and hoped I hit him. Also, something weird about this boss arena is that the ground texture seems to be updating at a lower frame rate than the rest of the level. That's not just me, is it? That ground texture is noticeably more framey than the rest of the arena. That's... kind of weird. I wonder what the reason for that was. Okay, so we did not unlock Elliot's final level because we failed to get all C's in Elliot's levels. So yeah, we don't get the fourth level on Elliot's side because we got a D and we got 2 Ds when we need at least a minimum of 3 C's. So let's just play Claris's final level here. Twin Seeds, The Growth. You get this like weird, like transparent cloud platform. And you're just kind of dumped on this like island in the middle of nowhere, far away from anything. So you're just kind of forced to jump off. But it's okay, you don't need knights to fly, you can now fly on your own. For reasons. So this level's a bit different from all the other previous levels, in that you have to do everything in one loop. You don't get to refill your timer when you get one of the ideas. That was not enough to break it? Shit. Okay, we're probably not going to do it then. Oh god, where the fuck is... Where's all the fucking balls? There's a ball. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to have enough time. Get off. Shit. Yeah, you have to be very fast and very precise with your flying in this level to even have a hope of finishing it. It took me a few attempts to finish this back in the day. I say back in the day, I mean like 2008. It's like the one the one level in the game that's actually genuinely hard to even finish, let alone get a good score on. Oh god. Yeah, I'm screwed. There it is. Yeah. Not going to do it. I've only got 30 seconds left. I'm screwed. $16, $15, $14. I did it. 1 second left. Holy shit, that was close. Hey, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. I haven't unlocked your final level yet. Huh. Okay. Wow, that was close. Somehow we got mostly Bs as well. It was not deserved. Alright, final boss time. Wiseman, which is this big, kind of cool looking robed dude with 6 hands. I don't know, it's a cool design. The idea is that this boss is like a little bit more interesting because the idea is that there are actually 2 knights flying around. And the idea is that both children are here at the same time and they've both taken the form of knights. You can't actually do damage to the boss until both knights have reached the boss and are holding on to him. You've actually got to kind of wait for the other knights to catch up with you before you can do damage. I think this is the last one. Yeah, it's the last one. Try and aim for the centre of the tornado. There we go, you can break through. And that's it. That's the final boss. That's it. No, really, that's it. That's the final boss. Look how easy that was. Like, what? Like, I really like the boss designs in this game, but oh my god, they are far too easy. And then we get at least one ending of the game. There are 2 endings, but I guess we'll only get to see one. This is the conclusion of Claris's story. With the help of knights, she banished her bad dreams and had the courage to face the judges. Or the tryouts or whatever. Yeah, there's not really a lot of story to this game. Oh my god, her character model is still creepy. Mm-hmm. And then you get a bunch of weird artwork. Yeah, man, some of these character designs are real, like, lumpy looking. And we're treated to a song for the end credits with lyrics. Oh, fuck. It's not a good song. At least this version of it is not a good song. Would you believe it if I told you there are 3 different versions of this song that Sega produced? All 3 versions with different vocalists? It's fucking stupid. So there's this version. The song is called Dreams, Dreams, by the way. There's this version, which is known as the kids' version of Dreams, Dreams, which should be obvious why they call it that, because the lead vocalists are children. And look, man, I get it. They're kids. They can't help it. But they're fucking not very good singers. Jesus Christ. Their voices just aren't powerful enough to carry the song. There's the adult version of this song, which I want to say was the adult version in the Japanese version of Nights. I forget which version of the game has the adult version of this song, but the adult version is just an objectively better version of the song, because, you know, the vocalists are like trained singers with more powerful voices, so they're just better at singing. And then there's the best version of all, which is the version that's in Christmas Nights, which is an a cappella version of this song, which is honestly, genuinely, kind of amazing. But this version, not very good. It is the worst version of the 3 different versions of this song, because these kids just can't sing. There's like an artificial, like, I don't really know how to describe it, but there's something in this game called A-Life, which I think A stands for artificial. It's some kind of like extremely like rudimentary like virtual pet thing. I forget how it... So you can actually hear the vocalists in the song right now. The vocalists you're listening to right now are the vocalists in the adult version of the song, but in that version of the song they sing the whole thing, and you can tell they are much more like capable singers than those kids were. This game came out at that time when like Sega was like just like. Now I say this lovingly, but they were overproducing their soundtracks, and so many Sega games in like the mid to late 90s, and even into like the early 2000s, were like had these like lavishly overproduced soundtracks, usually with at least one song that was like fully. Like fully vocalized, you know, like Sega Rally has a song with lyrics and vocals. Burning Rangers has its incredible like soundtrack with vocals. The Sonic Adventure games, I guess they count. I guess the Sonic Adventure games were like the last games of the overproduced soundtrack era. I guess in a way the Sonic games are like the only games that Sega still makes that carry on that tradition of the fully produced soundtrack with lyrics. Anyway. I wonder if you have to finish the storyline to get the instant boss selection to work. Okay, let's just try it now. Let's try holding down the right shoulder button and pressing C. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. Well, that's not what we want. Okay, let's back out again to the main screen. Let's we've still got some time. Let's see if we can get Elliot some better scores. We can at least get him a C on this one. Okay. The monsters come along and grab my balls and put the balls in prison. We have to go rescue my coloured balls from prison. Okay, let's go. Now, I will say that the environments in this game have like a decent amount of like detail to them. They pay for that, because I don't know if you can tell, but in the background there, the draw distance is not super great. Like, the game runs at a decent frame rate and has like a decent amount of like detail to it, but the game pays for that by having a very short draw distance. Skip fountain. We want that second fountain, actually. Oh, damn it. Kind of wish Knights had a slightly bigger hitbox for collecting the balls, because sometimes you feel like you are right on top of them, but you fly past them anyway. A little frustrating. Okay, bonus time. No! Let's not go to the podium yet. Let's... Fuck. I bounced off the ceiling and went straight to the podium. But I got a C anyway, so it's fine. I kind of figure that to get like a good score, you need to do at least one whole lap in bonus mode. God damn it. Down. There we go. Trying to aim for these fucking... Good enough, you know what? Good enough. There we go. Grab those. Okay, where are we going? Down. I've already forgotten which way to go. Pick that up. Alright. Will this be enough for a minimum of a C? Minimum. Yes. Okay. We're probably safe. Okay. Stupid underwater section again. Again, this level's kind of hard to navigate a little bit. Super clear. Again, it feels like I should be collecting some of these pickups, but I missed them all. Cool. Come on now. There we go. Oh, fuck. Just go. Left. Right. Left. Again, I completely failed to hit all of these switches. All C's. Fine, I'll take it. Good enough. What? Why are we doing this boss again? This is not your level. Why am I fighting you? What? Hang on. This is not your level. Why are you here? Yeah, I'm just kind of not clear on how to effectively fight this guy. You just kind of fly in loops around him and hope that you hit him, and maybe sometimes he hits you, sometimes you hit him. Like, it's not actually super clear what is the most effective way to handle this dude, and he's just... Okay. Suppose you just ram into him over and over again? Because I feel like that's all I did. Just rammed into him over and over and over again? And that was enough? I don't know. Of all the boss fights, this one feels like the least inventive. Oh, fuck off. Does that ruin my score for the whole level? If so, that sucks. Whatever. Yeah, it did. It ruined my score for the whole level. Great, cool. That's not even Riella's level. What the fuck? Why did he appear after finishing that level? Okay. That's the case. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. We're going to cheat. I can't spend all night messing around with this game, trying to figure out why it's doing what it's doing. Cheat device, away! Yeah, unlock all dreams and hold R to start at boss. Oh, shit. Accidentally press C. C starts the game. C does not select the cheat. Okay. It's not the first time I've done that. Okay, selected. Unlimited. Do we want unlimited time? No, we don't really want unlimited time. We just want all levels. And then the ability to play bosses at will. Yeah, see, look, A-Life. I'm pretty sure... I'm not 100% sure what the A-Life system is, but I think it's some kind of like rudimentary like virtual pet simulation. And I've never really quite understood how it works. It seems super like not fully fleshed out. I guess you could think of it as like Sonic Team's first attempt at like a proto Chow garden. Except not a garden, or I've never really fully understood how the artificial life system in this game works. It's just not very well documented, and there's a lot of like contradicting information, and I've never had a desire to try and figure it out. Oh, that's right. My save game was on the cartridge, and the cartridge is not in the system anymore. So we're gonna have to make a temporary save file. So we'll hold down... Yeah, look, we get all the levels straight away. So if we hold down the right shoulder button and press select a level, we immediately go to the boss. I think we play the bosses in order. So no matter what levels we select, the bosses will just play in a specific order. And I really think like the best part of this game, unironically, despite how easy they are, is the boss fights, because they're just so like visually like striking and like creative, like design wise. But I kind of just like looking at them. I just kind of wish they were more challenging, and there was more like, I don't know, like there was more of a challenge here, you know, instead of just repeatedly fly into boss to kill them. The one I want to look at again is the second one. It's the big ball lady who you have to spin around. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, this is the PAL version I'm playing. Did Sega forget to localize one of the one of the tip screens? Uh-oh. If that's the case, whoops. Okay, and the second time we do that, we should just, no matter what level we select, we should get the boss I want to replay, because it's the boss in the game that I like the most. Okay, making sure we are selecting widescreen here. And okay, this time it should be that same boss again. No, it's not. Okay, interesting. Let's back out again. Maybe we've got to select Elliot's side. Oh. Maybe I was wrong. I was under the impression that you have to fight the bosses in a select order regardless of what levels you select. Okay. No, this is not the one I want either. Why does it keep making me fight Riella? Fuck off. God damn it. I will fight the boss I want to fight. Where the fuck are you? What is going on? Maybe I select a different level? Here we go. So this boss here is actually my favourite boss in the game, not because it's like hard, but because I just like the design of it. Like, you don't attack the boss, you grab hold of her underside, spin her round, and throw her through the environment. And I think that's just a really cool idea for a boss encounter. Like I said, it's not hard. You've got to aim, you've got to time your attacks, because you want to make sure that she hits a specific spot in the environment to crash through. Otherwise she just kind of bounces around ineffectively. Uh-oh. Oh shit. Okay, you've got to make sure you grab her underside. And so you force her down... Oh shit. You force her down the far end of the hallway to eventually you throw her into that closet? Cabinet? Something? Piece of furniture that closes down on her? And I just think that's a really, like, interesting boss design. I don't know. Again, it's not hard at all, not even like remotely difficult, but I don't know, I like the mechanic. I like the mechanic of grabbing the big ball lady, spinning her around and throwing her through furniture. I think that's just a really, like, cool idea for a boss. Anyway. I think that's enough, and yeah, here we go. Here's that embarrassingly unlocalized help screen again. I don't know what's going on there. Whoops. Huh. Unless this was technically a help screen you're never supposed to see? Which, unsure about that. Anyway, I think that's enough. I think that's enough Nights into Dreams. I think we've played enough of it to get a good sense of what this game is, why it is like interesting, and in some ways impressive, and why, at least I think, it is not the best thing since sliced bread, despite what a lot of other Sega fans seem to say. Like, the game is fine. It's fine. Like, it's nice even. Like, it's nice. It's creative. I just don't think it's amazing, you know? It's like, it's fine. So then, where would it go on the list? Because if we were to ask the average Sega Saturn, not even Sega fan, let's say like Sega Saturn fan, where they would put Nights into Dreams on a list, they would probably, I would guarantee, put it somewhere in the top 10, guaranteed. Like, that just seems to be the average opinion of this game that I see still to this day online, and I just cannot understand. It's just, I feel like the game is like, it's fine. It's fine. You know? Relatively enjoyable. It's creative and colourful. I just don't think it's top 10 material. I don't even think it's top 20 material, you know? I once said several months ago that I don't think this game would go even in the top 50. I'm not sure I believe, like, truly believe that. But also at the same time, I would not be completely surprised if that ends up being true. Like, at the end of this, once we're done ranking all of the games, I think there is a very, very, like, probable situation where once we're done ranking all 241 Sega Saturn games, that this Nights into Dreams does sit just outside the top 50. And there is no malice here. I'm not like, I think some people have like misunderstood my attitude as hatred or malice towards the game, and that's simply not true. My any like extreme emotions I may have displayed in the past, or opinions I may have displayed in the past when talking about Nights into Dreams, is less my opinion on the actual game, and more of my reaction to how a very long time ago I felt tricked. extremely tricked. So I'm going to say it is definitely not in the top 10. I would rather play any of these games than Nights into Dreams. Sega Rally is a better game. Galactic Attack is a better game. Panzer Dragoon 2 is a much better game. X-Men Children of the Atom is a better video game. Rayman is a better video game. Virtua Fighter 2 is a better video game. Shinobi X is like more... I get more personal enjoyment out of playing Shinobi X. Darius Gaiden is, I think, more enjoyable, more challenging. Galaxy Fight is like... I think beats Nights just by cool factor alone. Gun Griffin is a better video game. Guardian Heroes is a better video game. Road Rash is a better video game. I think that Parodius collection is like more like, I don't know, like it just holds my attention more. I feel like if Nights had more gameplay variety, like you weren't just flying in circles, collecting balls, and that wasn't the only thing you did. If there was some kind of greater variety to the gameplay, you know? Maybe the bosses were a little bit harder. Maybe there was more of a skill ceiling to the bosses. I feel like I would have like a just an overall higher opinion of Knights, but I think the bosses are too easy, and I think the repetitive action of flying in circles, collecting balls, is like very underwhelming. Despite the great variety, you know, to like the level designs and like the visual style of the game. I think what you actually do in the video game is a little bit underwhelming. I would rather play Virtua Cop than Nights into Dreams. I think Street Fighter Alpha 1 is like a more enjoyable video game for me. I think there's more of a challenge and therefore like more interest to be had in Theme Park, because Theme Park is a hard video game. That's a game you have to actually think and practice and get good at to see everything it has to offer. That to me is just more valuable to me than just looking at pretty colours and flying in circles for a couple of hours. Buster Move 2 is a better video game. I think Athlete Kings is a more interesting, fun video game. SimCity 2000 is SimCity fucking 2000. Knights doesn't touch SimCity 2000's SimCity 2000. Even a somewhat questionable port. Okay, now we're actually running into resistance. Let's come at this from the other direction. Okay. I'll say Knights is a more interesting, entertaining game than Baku Baku Animal. It's a better game than Gen War. It's a better game than Highway 2000. It's a better game than Hang On GP. It's better than Cyber Speedway. It's better than Need for Speed. I think it's a better game than Pebble Beach Golf Links. It's a better game than The Horde. It's a better game than In the Hunt and Wing Arms. It's better than Street Fighter the movie. It's better than Gex. I find it more enjoyable than Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, because I'm just really, really not a Mortal Kombat guy. I think it's better than Shockwave Assault. It's better than Shining Wisdom. It's better than Firestorm Thunderhawk 2. Okay, we're closing in. We're closing in. It's better than Panzer Dragoon 1. It's better than Shell Shock. It's better than Striker 96. It's better than Virtua Fighter 1. So it's here in the... It's in the 20s. It's in the 20s. The question is, how far down the 20s? You know, People are going to fucking hate me for this, but I think I would... I don't know, I have great difficulty playing it because I find the controls difficult to understand, but everything else about Daytona USA is like so like charming to me. Like, I don't know, I think the Saturn port of Daytona USA is kind of a mess. I would say that technically, on a technical level, Nights into Dreams is a much more competent game technically. But I don't know. I think I just get more raw enjoyment out of Daytona USA, even though I'm not good at the game. Because I don't know. There's just I don't know. It's just more. It's just got more interesting gameplay for me personally than Nights. It's not as pretty as Nights. I think Nights is a much better looking game. It runs much better. It looks much better. But it's just, I don't know, man. Flying in circles, collecting balls just doesn't do it for me. It's Nights is just a little, like, gameplay wise, it's just a little bit too simplistic in a way that is like. And it's not to say that there aren't other games up here that have equally simplistic game loops, like, you know, Buster Move 2 has a very simple gameplay loop, you know. Shoot bubbles, make bubbles pop. But there is a depth and a skill ceiling there that, I don't know. It's just easier for me to perceive and understand. So yeah, I get it. Daytona USA is a kind of, in some ways, kind of a mess, kind of a fucking mess of a video game. But at the end of the day, it's still Daytona USA. And it is just immensely charming in every way. Visually, stylistically. So I'm going to make the choice of saying that I think Daytona USA is a better video game than Nights into Dreams. I know, I get it. I can already hear people screaming at me down their internet connections. But that's just my opinion, man. And this is a subjective list. So I love Worms. I love Worms so fucking much. It might just be because of the part of the world that I'm from. But I have such intensely fond memories of playing multiplayer Worms with friends and family members that it's very difficult for me to not love any version of the original Worms across every platform it came out for, including the Saturn version. I love Worms. Worms is maybe one of the best multiplayer games ever made, and there's so much like depth and like difficulty and skill and creativity to how you play this game. I think as long as you're playing multiplayer, Worms is a better game than Nights into Dreams. I think Magic Carpet is a better game than Nights into Dreams. Again, like Magic Carpet's just got so much more going on in terms of like design and gameplay and what it's asking of the player and challenge and tools at your disposal to get, you know, to do what you need to do. Like Magic Carpet is like such a cool game for its era. I just don't think it like. No, I just don't think Nights into Dreams is like. It just hasn't got that depth, man. It just hasn't got that depth. Pretty colours and like interesting boss designs only take you so far. I think Golden Axe the Duel is a better game than Nights into Dreams. It's kind of a second-rate 2D fighting game. But it's still got, I don't know, it's still a very, I don't know, it's still a fun fighting game. It's got enough going on that like I get more enjoyment out of it. Which means it's going in the upper to mid 20s. I think Nights into Dreams is a better game than Valora Valley Golf. I like Valora Valley Golf. I have a deep affection for Valora Valley Golf, but also I know that game is kind of janky. It's kind of extremely janky in ways that like it's hard to look past. I think Nights into Dreams is a better game than International Victory Goal. I think Nights into Dreams is a better game than the Saturn port of Wipeout 1. Nights is a better game than Hebereke's Papa Ito. Which means it's in the mid-20s. I think KO Flying Squadron 2 is like a really, really cool, interesting 2D platformer. / shoot 'em up. Some very interesting mechanics. Weapons and level designs and just beautiful, beautiful pixel art. Boy. Would I rather play KO Flying Squadron 2? The game's got such cool level variety, and like the weapon system is interesting. All the weapons have like different uses, not just for attacks. Like you can open up the umbrella and use it to glide or float down drops super slowly, and the bow and arrow, and the hammer, and presumably there are like lots of other weapons in there. And the shooter levels are not the best. I think you move far too slowly in those levels. Like it's very difficult to get out of the way of incoming shots and enemies in the shooter levels, but it is a gorgeous looking game from a 2D pixel art perspective. Got really nice production values. For like a 2D platformer, like really like weirdly impressive production values for a 2D platformer. You know, like it's like fully voice acted, even though the voice acting in the English version is maybe not great. It's just a really charming game. Fuck. Yeah, I feel like if you were to put KO Flying Squadron 2 and Nights into Dreams in front of me, I feel like I will be much more likely to want to play KO Flying Squadron. Yeah, I think I prefer. I like KO Flying Squadron more than I like Nights into Dreams. I'm sorry. Which brings us down to Mystaria: The Realms of Lore, which is the surprising little tactical tactics RPG that has surprising amount of like depth to its battle system and its character abilities. It is an hideous game. It is an ugly as sin video game. Maybe one of the worst looking games from like a technical perspective on the Sega Saturn. But the actual battle system is like really surprisingly deep and satisfying to engage with. Also, it's like a surprisingly lenient RPG for the time that it came out. Like most JRPGs were like still very, very like tough and punishing in the mid-90s, whereas Mystaria is a game that it just lets you like, hey, you want to quit this battle early? Yes, we'll let you keep all the experience you gained so far. It's like, oh wow, thanks Mystaria, I totally wasn't expecting that. You're really like approachable and like forgiving. And but the battle system is really slow. It takes forever to get through a battle because of how slow it is. The menu system in that game is a mess. Navigating menus takes way too long, and the menu layouts are a little bit too confusing. It is a surprisingly good and enjoyable tactics RPG for its era. But it still has like massive problems. That would get in the way, that do get in the way of enjoying it still. No. I've made my decision. I believe that just barely, just fucking barely, by the thinnest of margins, Nights into Dreams is better than Mystaria: The Realms of Lore, which means it is our new number 25. Some people will be relieved by this, some people will be outraged. I do not care, this is where it is going. Congratulations to Nights into Dreams for being so far a top 25 Sega Saturn game. We still have over 130 games to go. There is still plenty of time for my prophecy of Nights into Dreams not making it into the top 50 to happen. I'm not saying I necessarily want that to happen. I would be overjoyed if it turns out that, no, in fact, Nights into Dreams is in fact a top 50 Sega Saturn game. You know, if it stays inside the top 50, you know, but of the 130 games, 130 odd games we have left to play, only 26 of them need to be better than Nights to push it out of the top 50. We shall see. We shall see. I personally think this is a very fair position. I know plenty of people will disagree with me, but it's my list and I do what I want. You are more than welcome to craft your own ranking list. And with that, that is the end of the video. Next week, we will be ranking 3 more Sega Saturn games. Oh my god, I just feel like there's such a weight lifted off my shoulders, because this is a game that I've been dreading ranking, because I've just been like, because I know that I'm not, like, I don't like it nearly as much as most people, and it's just, I'm just like, fuck man, like, I was just super worried that I'm just like, if I would be able to like get across my argument in like a coherent and understandable way, and I feel like I've done a good job of getting across my feelings and my reasons for why Nights is as far down as it is. I think I've done a relatively good job of that, and I feel like I'm quite happy with my argument and my points. So I've just got this massive weight off my head right now, where we've passed like a major thing. That the rest of these videos seem like almost like easy now. Like this was like a major, like, I don't know, obstacle to get past, and I feel like we have passed it with surprising ease and finality. Next week we will be playing a fishing game, a first-person shooter, and an action platformer. I will leave you to figure out what those games are, and thank you for joining me. My name is Real Blue Dragon, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.